Hey guys, quick shout out to Vincent Ferrari and Ethan Carter from Because We Make podcast, and also Michael Alm for the idea for the pattern plywood. The link for his video will be in the description. First thing I'm going to do is set my blade to 60 degrees. That's the wrong knob. The first cut we're going to make is just a 60-degree cut. The first cut will just be scrap. Then after that, we're just going to keep making 60-degree cuts. The cut thickness is going to be the same thickness as the material that you're using. So for me, I think it's about 19 degrees. But in Michael Alm's video, he shows me a little trick way to make sure it's the right thickness. I'll show you that too. All right, so there's my first 60-degree cut. What we're going to do, put my sunnies on. First thing I'm going to do is get my 60-degree cut, have that flat against the table. I'll zoom in on a second. Undo my fence, tap that all the way till you hit the blade. You don't want to be pressing up against it too hard. Make sure the bottom is flat on there until you got that there. Press it down, and that should be pretty good. I'm going to make 3 cuts and make sure that after these 3 cuts that it's a perfect 60 degrees, and it should make a nice pattern. All right, so once you get your pieces, there's a few different ways you can make the design. The design I'm going to do is this. Like that, kind of looks like a cube. So basically I'll end up gluing those all together. But first, I've got to cut out a boatload of these, then I'll glue them all up. And once it's all dry, I'll start cutting them into discs. Once you got all your pieces cut, I'm gonna start gluing these all up. There's no real wrong way you can do this. Join the pieces together and you get that square shape. To clamp, you don't need any clamps. That's probably the only good thing. Just buy a bag of rubber bands. I've got heaps here, and just keep twisting them over until they're tight. It's gonna take me a while, so I'm gonna put in the time lapse. I've left this for a day. Now I'm going to take off the rubber bands. Awesome, happy with that. All right, so I'm going to cut this the same thickness as the material. So to do that, I've got a piece of scrap. I'm going to put the scrap, pull this back, put this down, make sure that piece is hard up against the blade. You see I've left about 1 millimeter, or I don't know what imperial measurement, just a little tiny bit. I don't want exactly the same thickness as the material because I'm gonna have to sand this down when I glue it all together because I know it's not gonna be perfect. So I'm leaving 1 millimeter to sand down to get it down to the same thickness as the plywood. Sweet, and I've clamped that down, so that's gonna be my stop block. Oh, man, that's so crisp. It's gonna turn out awesome. I ended up doubling it up so I could cut 2 at once because it's taking ages to cut all the pieces. All right, that took me ages. Now it's time for glue up. I got this piece of melamine so the glue doesn't stick to it. I've got these I've got this scrap piece of timber that I'll cut and screw to the edge because it's straight. So basically I can butt the pieces up against these 2 corners. First one I'll wedge in the corner like that, and then I'll make sure that it's the same pattern and keep gluing them together. I don't want the pattern to be like a block. I actually want it to sort of merge into the plywood. So I'm gonna make some peaks, probably 3 peaks. Probably 1 here, 1 there, and 1 on the edge or something. Kind of random. I don't want it to be like 3 exact diamonds. I'll just make it up on the fly and hopefully it looks good. All right, this is the next morning. I want to see if this ended up getting stuck to this. I'll put down that paste wax and that should hopefully make it break free. Ah, sweet. And once it's all dry, I'll start cutting them into discs. Cautious about this. Oh wow, look at that. There's a few gaps in it, but I'm not too worried because I'll fill those in later. Now I'm gonna grab the rest of the plywood that I'm gonna merge this in with. All right, that's all done. Now I'm gonna get this piece. Oh, so on this plywood, it's actually A and C sided. So on one of the sides, it actually butterfly patches. Basically, it's like a, I'll show you. Can you see it? Butterfly patch right there. So I've got to make sure that's on the bottom. Now I've got to choose which side I want the pattern plywood to be. I think I'm going to choose the left side, but I want it to be lined up so that this pattern is still going in the same orientation. All right, now all the sanding's done. Now I'm gonna get my track saw and cut a clean edge. So that means when I put it through the table saw, I'll just use that clean edge against the fence and I'll cut the other side. Now I'm gonna throw it through the table saw with that nice clean edge on this side. I'll just take a little bit off, just enough to get past the jagged edge from the pattern. I've got these really cool bent plate steel metal legs from Taylor's collection. It's an Australian company that makes things like these. I don't know if they make them in Australia, but it's definitely from Australia. I'll put a link in the description. They're very well priced and super easy to install. They've already got 6 screw holes or bolt holes or anything, whatever you want to use it for. This project took me quite a while, so I didn't really want to spend time designing the legs. It was sort of more of an experiment on how to do pattern plywood. So I just chose to buy legs for this one, but purely up to you. Build legs if you like, but for me, I just wanted to muck around with the pattern plywood and then get some legs to make it a coffee table. All right, to install these, I'm just gonna screw them in the same distance in and maybe 50 mil offset from the side and do exactly the same on the other side. 82. Looks like 82 mil is the number. I'm gonna go 70 mil from the edge. I think 50 is just a little bit too close. While I got you here, if you like the video, why not hit subscribe? All right, now to finish this piece, I'm gonna use Cabothane Clear, I believe it's called. We'll go with that. It's a water-based polyurethane. Basically, I'm gonna use a foam brush to apply it. It's pretty dirty, but that's all I got. Damn, that looks good. Not gonna lie, I could have done the joining to the plywood a lot better. There's bits where I had to gap fill, but nothing's perfect. Overall, I still really enjoy doing this project. I think it looks pretty cool. Thanks for watching my video. This is the first time I've experimented with pattern plywood. It turned out great, and I'm probably gonna use it more in the future. See you in the next one.